either you unmute yourself and talk to me, and then or you can type in the chat room. This is going to be a long class because it is going to be 2.5 hours long. So there will be a break at around 7:30 or 7:35. You got a 5-10 minutes break. You can go use your restroom or do whatever you want. You got a 5-10 minutes break, and then we'll continue back for class, and it ends around 8:40 or 8:50, something like that. It's close to 9. So it's a really long class here, and we only meet Monday and Wednesday. So today's we will definitely go through the syllabus. I will also show you how to register to the WebAssign, which is your online homework platform. And then so if you have any questions, just let me know. Don't be shy. Okay, and it's recorded here. So this is a Math 1180 College Algebra Pre-Calculus 5 credit class for this semester, spring 2022. My name is David Liu. You can call me David to just make things easy. My phone number, this is my school phone numbers, 762-488-0252. If you do leave a message or you email me, make sure you tell me your name and also what class you are in, because I'm teaching 4 classes right now. I've almost 100 students. So I just want to identify who you are. So and when you call me, when you leave a message, make sure you talk slowly, especially when you leave your phone number, because sometimes it's hard for me to hear your phone number. But the best way for you to contact me is via email, okay? Because I will definitely reply back to you, except for weekends. So Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Friday, I might not able to. I won't reply as fast as soon as I can, but mostly on the weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Usually, if I'm on, I will definitely reply back to you. My office is in CLA 203. It's kind of easy to find my office. It's not that difficult. So I do have office hours during my office and also on campus and also via Zoom. So here's the office hours. It's 1:50 to 2:30 Wednesday on campus. 4:30 to 6:15, which is right before this class. Monday I have a Zoom, and the Zoom you just need to email me with the time. Email me what Monday on what time you want me to Zoom with you, and then I will give you the Zoom link. Or if you want, you can come to class come to my office on Wednesday, between like 30-40 minutes before the class starts. Okay, I'll be in my office helping you out. If this times does not work for you because you might have another class or you are working, you just need to set up an appointment with me. I don't have classes on Tuesday and Thursday, so if you want to, you can set up a Zoom class on Tuesday or Thursday. You just, again, give me your time. And when I say time, it's a set of time. So sometimes I'm busy on certain time. So doctor appointments and so on. So if, let's say, okay, David, are you free on Tuesday, 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock? You give me some options. Then I will give you, then I'll reply back with the Zoom link. The more option you give me, the better. Then I can pick what time, because sometimes I do have things going on Tuesday, personal stuff. So this is the my information here. Anyone have any questions so far? The course overview. This class is a combination of Math 1150, which is the college algebra, and Math 1170, which is pre-calc. So that means in this college, we call pre-calc as trigonometry. So this is actually college algebra and trigonometry combined together. So that means students who take this class will be taking calculus 1 in the following semester. This is a very fast-paced class because you combine 2 classes together. That's supposed to be 7 credits in 2 semesters, and you're going to do this in 5 credits in 1 semester. It's kind of like a boot camp class. So a lot of that means you have to spend a bit more time in this class, since it is a very fast-paced and fast-going class. A lot of materials to cover. We were covering polynomials, rationals, exponents, logs. Those are from college algebra. And then we do trigonometry, inverse trig, vectors, conic sections, sequence and series. This will be in the pre-cal or trigonometric class. And I don't think so we will have time to cover the polar and the parametric equation. So usually this class is going to be like you have to like squeeze everything into this 16, 17 weeks, which is usually we don't have time to cover the topics. The textbook that we are using, this is the textbook we are using here, which is the Algebra and Trig 10 edition by Ron Larson. This is the hard copy of it, so you should have like a loose leaf copy, right, from the bookstore, and it comes with access code, right? So it's up to you. If you want to save money, you can just get the access code by itself, or you can just buy the whole bundle, the book plus the access code. And the reason why you can just get the access code, which is the WebAssign access code, is because it comes with the ebook, and very seldom we will use the textbook in this class. The only time I will use a textbook in this class is for graph. I mean, because they have a nicer graph, you know, like parabola or ellipses. You know, the way they draw it is nicer than I draw it by freehand here. So sometimes I use the textbook to show you what it looks like, so you know you can get the picture looks nicer there. So that will be something. So I'm very rarely use the textbook, but mostly I will use the notes that I provide to you. So this is the notes that I'm talking about. Okay. So again, you will get a copy of this. You might need to print out like the 2.6 and 2.7 today, and the rest you probably will get it, okay, because it's the first day of class. Anyone have any questions with this textbooks and this class syllabus? Calculators. The only calculators you are required for this class is scientific calculators. You can use your graphing calculators, but unfortunately, graphing calculators are not allowed in the test. So, so you can only, I recommend you to just get a scientific calculators. This is the graphing calculators, which you are not allowed to use this. I mean, you can use this to do your homework, but I recommend you to get the scientific calculators. That is the one that you are allowed to use in the test. So make sure you buy one. It's like $10 or $15. Then you get used to the calculators here. The prereq is mostly just go through the prereq. Mostly you guys will met the prereq. I just want to point out to you guys that if you haven't take any algebra classes for a long time, I would really, really strongly suggest you to brush up your algebra skills. Okay, especially like factoring and exponents and those kind of, especially factoring is a big one. So a lot of students. So I will show you I will show it to you where in the textbook that if you need help with like complex numbers and quadratic formulas, because those kind of questions, those kind of sections, which is the prereq, I will just go through it really fast. So so make sure you guys understand that it's very important. Okay. Questions on the first page of your syllabus here? Next, grading. So attendance is 10%. So I do take attendance both via Zoom and in class on Wednesday. How I take attendance via Zoom is I will just, because I only got 10 or 11 students in this class, so it's very easy for me to just, go through this list and I can just see you guys. Sometimes I do ask questions, you know, like Fong or Zeke and and Hunters. You guys, I will ask you simple questions and hopefully you can either answer me back or type in the chat room. So that's the reason why I want you guys to change your name to the real name so that at least I know who you are. There are 3 tests that give you 50%. Your online homework is 20% and the final is 20%. Now, your final is not comprehensive, means that your finals I only test the last few chapters on your finals. That means all your tests in this case is non-comprehensive. Means if you finish, I will show you later on here. So where's the test? So if you finish the test, the next test will not cover your previous sections or previous chapters. Okay. Your grading skills, A, B, C, D, F, typical. A lot of students ask me what happens if you got in the 9s, like 89, 79, 69, and 59. Your grade will be automatically round up to the next grade. So you're in the 9s and the 8s. Okay. So you do not need to at the end of semester when you finish all your finals and all your homeworks. If you got like an 89 point something or 88 point something or 79 point something or 70, your grade will be automatically round up to the next grade. So you do not need to email me and say, hey, David, I am 88.3. Will I get an A? The answer will be yes, you will get an A. But if you are in the 7s and 6s, like 87s or 86 point something, because you're just a few points behind, few percent behind to round up to an A or B or C, then you will need to email me and I will open up some online homework for you. And maybe like 4 or 5 online homework that you haven't done or you do really poorly. And then I want you to finish it in a week. And then hopefully you do it nicely, get 100%. And then that will push it up to the next grade. Okay. So especially in your finals. Yes, especially in your finals. So once you finish your finals, I will finish grading it. I will put it in D2L. You need to look at it. And I usually check your grade. And if you're in the 7s and 6, I will email you. Say, all right, David, you are 86.9 or 86.3. You just need to do 4 or 5 more homework. Hopefully you get 100% on this homework. And I will tell you, because I can look at your homework. Okay, this homework is open for you. This section, this 5, 6 sections. Make sure you get 100% on all 5, 6 of this. And then by end of, I give you 1 week to do it. And then after, because your finals probably be over that time. And then you got the time, you finish it, and then I will check it, and then I will push your grade up to the A or B or C. So yes, I'm very flexible. I'm very nice. Someone just put in the chat room here. Yes, I'm very nice. I'm flexible. I want you to see the work that you do. So if you give me your work, sometimes even students get 87 or 86, and I see you guys are trying the work or trying really hard. I do not say, you know what? You did so much work in this class. You do not need to do any homework anymore. You get the next grade, the A or the B. Okay, sometimes I do it like straightforward because there's no nice penalize students that work really hard, but in the test sometimes you guys do poorly in the test. I understand it. Got all this mental health and mental blocks and stuff. It happens. I totally got it, but I don't want to see that to pull down your grade. And you guys be like crying. Or I saw students crying. Then I can help you with that. But if you didn't do any homework, I look at your homework, you didn't come to my class, and so on, that will be the one that those deciding factors. So yes, I do really. So I just want to tell you guys, if you give me your 80, 90, 100%, I will give you back my 100 and 150% to you. Okay, it's very easy. You come to class, you ask questions, you do your homework. That's the minimum I want you guys to do. I mean, that's more you can do. That, but if you did all this basic stuff, yes, I'm really nice actually. So, and I can be really mean, so do not let me see me the mean side or the bad side of me. That you will see it, but hopefully you won't see it. But be nice and I'll be nice to you. Okay, be cordial. So class meetings will be Zooming every Monday in this website. So this website is the one that we will be yep. Please, I am looking forward for you to teach you guys. So Monday, this website, every Monday, 6:15 to 8:40, we got a 10 minutes in between the break. Same thing in Wednesday, we'll meet in CLA 144 face-to-face. You also get a 10-15 minutes in between the time to get you have a break, and all these Zoom meetings will be recorded and posted in YouTube as a private link, so you can always go back and rewatch it. What is a YouTube private link means that if you go to YouTube and search David Liu's College Math 1180 class, you will not able to find my video, I have to provide you the special link so you can click on it, then you can watch it. And that link is always posted in D2L. Okay, so once I finish recording this, it takes like almost 30 minutes to 45 minutes to me to upload it and download it to D2 to YouTube. So it takes me around some time. So just be patient when it takes time for the computer to do those work. So that is very important. And I think, as I mentioned, I take attendance. Attendance is mandatory to come to class. I think we'll meet around almost 30 times this semester. So I will count 20 attendance. Okay. So that means if you didn't show up in my class for 6, 7, 8 times, I'm fine with it. So don't panic. But if you did miss my class due to some personal issues, or something sick or something else, if you have a doctor notes or some other kind of something, some letters, yes, then I will still count you present in this case. Okay, so if you're absent, just and again you're late, I'm fine. I'm not doing tardy. So if you come in late, or just email me or let me know you'll be late, or if you want to leave early because you've got something going on, also email me, let me know. The only thing is, if you come in late or if you leave early before and after class, please watch the YouTube, okay, because you'll be missing the parts that you'll be missing here. So this attendance is 10% of your final grade, which is really help you for this class. And this is the Zoom link that we'll be using, which is the one that you just come here. Notes, the instructor notes, this is the instructor notes, is actually created by me. I actually post all these notes in D2L, so you will get the first freebie from me when we meet face to face. So because today's a special one, you might print a few pages out, but the rest of them I will provide it to you. I will also recommend you to watch some videos. I teach this class last semester and last 2 semesters. So I do have videos for this class. So if you have stuck or you have any questions, I will recommend you to watch those videos and also these videos for sure. And I think the CLA 141 that we are meeting on Wednesday face to face, it doesn't have a Zoom. It's not a Zoom class. I do not know. I need to check first on Wednesday, because what I mean by it's not a Zoom class means that it doesn't have a Zoom option. Some classroom in Northampton has the Zoom option, face-to-face option in the classroom, means that you can either attend the class in the classroom, or you can just do the Zoom. And it has that option. Some classroom has that option, but I do not know about CLA 141. But if that classroom has that Zoom option, then it's up to you to either you want to show up in campus on Wednesday, or you want to Zoom it like here. But I really recommend you to show up at least, a few times. Okay, I still take attendance no matter what. So that would be good if there's a Zoom class and I can record everything that I do. Because if there's not a Zoom class, then on Wednesday, then it's not recorded. So if you miss my class, then I have to show you my old Zoom videos from previous semester. I do have those, so you just need to watch it over again. Okay. Next one is, everyone okay here so far? Online homework. The WebAssign.net is the homework the online homework here. I will teach you today how to register to it and how you do your homework. Mostly all the questions in your homework has a watch. Sorry. Has a watch it button. Dry throats. What is the meaning of the watch it button? Is when you click on the watch it button, they will show you a video how to do that questions, but it's a different number. Okay, so instead of 2x plus 1 equals to 3 that you got in your homework, they will do like 2x plus 4 equals. It's very similar, same concept, but different numbers. Okay, so I will recommend you to watch the video first before you ask me any questions, because I want you guys to try to do the homework first. I don't want you to simply ask me that you haven't tried the homework yet. And very time when you ask me a questions like, David, I'm stuck with this question. I do actually want to see the work because I don't know, because it's an online homework. So I don't know what's the work. So there are two ways for you to show the work to me. One is to take your cell phone and just take a picture of your work and send it the email to me and just say, hey, David, I'm stuck with this question. I re-emailed the work. Can you check it? And I can just go through it. It's very easy. Once I go through it, I can say, oh, you just missed, that's a careless mistake in the third line. It's not, it should, I will tell you what's going on. It's not +3, it should be -3 or something else. Or if you want, you type it out, which is the most, it's a lot of work to type things out, right? Especially math. So that's another way, but the easiest way is just take a picture on your phone and then just send it to me and then just type in the thing and say, hey, David, I will send you the email, so please check it and check my work. And I will definitely do it, because if you just say how I'm stuck, I will say, have you tried it yet? And if you try it, just send it to me, okay? And all your online homework is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. So that means what I'm talking about this one is what I teach this week will be due on next Wednesday. So there is no homework this Wednesday. It will be due next Wednesday and it's due by midnight, 11:59 p.m. And the reason I put Wednesday is because we meet face-to-face on Wednesday. So usually I will ask questions. Hey, you guys, in the first 10-20 minutes, I will ask, do you guys have any questions on your homework that is due tonight on Wednesday night? And if you have, you just tell me which questions. And sometimes some students ask me exactly the same questions. I kind of know that you guys struggle with the same question. I just, I will say, all right, I know 3-4 of you asking exactly the same questions. We'll go through this in class, okay? And this is also something for everyone. I will drop 4 of the lowest online homework score. So if you did not do it or do poorly on it, I will drop 4 of the lowest online homework score. And the online homework will cost 20% of your total grade. Now, this class key is very important. This is for registering to WebAssign. I will show you how to do this. And please do not copy and paste this to your WebAssign when you register, because they don't recognize copy and paste. So you actually literally have to type it out. Okay. So it's make sure there's a period right in between that. Some students also asking for extension of homework. You guys know what's the meaning of extension homework, right? Because it's due on Wednesday midnight, but sometimes you got too much things going on and too much homework going on. You cannot finish your homework. I will give you up to let's be nice to you guys, 4 extension homework, online homework, okay? Plus, I will also drop 4 of the lowest homework, because you have to do quite a bit of homework in my class here, so that's the reason why I give you a little bit here. So yes, how do you ask extension? You have to ask in WebAssign. I will show it to you where to ask. It's very easy. And usually when you ask for extension, they will ask you for when do you want it to be due. Okay, so so I will show it to you how to do extensions here, so you will get used to it. So up to 4 extension, I do keep track on this, and once it go over 4, I will say unfortunately I already opened up 4 homework for you already, so I cannot do any more. So I will treat the rest as lowest. I will drop 4 the lowest. So it's pretty, again, I'm very flexible, very nice. I already told you, don't make me mean and angry and upset, because I will be, I will chew on you really bad. Okay. So make sure you guys don't procrastinate and don't push the button and think, oh, David's gonna extend all this 4 homework. I'm not gonna do any homework at all till the last minute, and so don't do that. Okay, this is very important. Questions so far?
No.
Test and finals. This is something that is not in there. Let me just explain this. I will add something more to it. There are actually 4 tests you have to do. All tests are going to be in-class tests on campus in CLA, what was that? 141? Yeah, CLA 141 in the class. So mostly your test is going to be on Wednesday, because that's the only time we meet. Except for your finals, I think your finals is on Monday. Okay. Yep, it's going to be Wednesday, except for your finals on Monday. The 3 tests, test 1, test 2, test 3, will be 50% of your final grade, and your finals will be 20% of the final grades. Your test will be graded by the amount of work shown. So that means that you have to show me the work. If your final answer is correct, but you didn't show me any work, it will be counted as 0. Okay. So yes, this class is fair. You have to show me the work, how you get that answer. Okay. And if your answer is wrong, but your work, because you did show your work, but your answer is wrong because you make a few careless mistakes here and there, I will take really minor points off. Okay. But if you just give me an answer, the answer is correct or wrong without showing the work, you get 0. Okay. And again, this is something I point out to you guys already. Scientific calculators are only allowed in the test. Okay. So make sure that you guys don't use a graphic calculator in your test time. Okay. And the only thing you need to watch out is there's no retake, no redo, no late test, and no extra credit given in the test. So this is not high school, so I'm not going to tolerate this. However, if you cannot come during those times, because again, you have to give me proof that you are either not feeling well or tested positive for COVID or something else. I need to see proof here, not just orally. I need to see some evidence. Then you will have to take that test either via Zoom, which is a very difficult, it's very hard to take tests via Zoom, or you take it in the testing center. Okay, but really rarely I would do that. So, but if something happens, like especially when you tested positive for COVID-19, especially during your test time, please, I would recommend you to tell me so that I know what's going on, so I know what happens and I can prepare you. But if you do not want to tell me, you still need to tell the admin people that you tested positive. Again, very confidential. I won't tell anyone. It's very quiet, very private. And if, let's say, one of you guys tested positive, and our Wednesday face-to-face class will be back to Zoom for 2 weeks, because I don't want you guys to meet on campus because someone just tested positive. So everyone will get an email from the admin that that this not this person. They say a student in the classroom tested positive. They don't give up name. They don't give up anyone. So that means that we don't meet on Wednesday on campus. We're gonna meet Zoom using the same link. Okay, so I just add a few days. It happens before in last semester, so I'm fine with it. I mean, I want everyone to be safe and healthy, and I don't want it. And I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not gonna penalize that students who tested positive. No point of doing that. It's not her or his fault. Okay, it happens. Things happen. Okay, so I can test it positive too. I did test it positive last year around March, so I have to cancel 1 year of class because of that. So again, I cannot point fingers and stuff like that. So it happens. Okay. Your tests, because we got a long time of class, so we will review the test on the first hour, and then after that you will take the test in that 1.5. Usually your test is an hour and a half long. That means I'm not going to give you 40 questions or 30 questions. It's gonna be teenish, like 15 or 16 or 17. It's not gonna be 20. It's gonna be less than 20 questions. Okay. Maybe if a material recovery is difficult, it's gonna be like 12 or 13. But some of the questions will have parts A, B, C. Okay, so that's why I'm not gonna give you a lot of questions, and you only got 1.5 hours to do it. And then usually we will review in the first hour. So I will recommend you to come to the review. A lot of students say, oh, maybe I just, today's test day, I did not come to the review. I just come an hour later to take the test, and I will tell you that it is a really big mistake. Okay, this is something I will point out to you. Especially the review is the most important. I got students didn't show up in my class and just come to the review, and they're still able to pass my class, because that is really important. All right, here's your test. So your test 1 will cover chapter 2.6, 2.7, 3.1 to 3.4, 4.1, and 4.2. And your test is on Wednesday, February 2nd. This is your first test. Your test 2 will be 4.3, 4.4, 5, and 9. And this is on March 2nd, on Wednesday. This is March 2nd is right before spring break. Okay. And then test 3 will be cover 6, and 7th. This is on Wednesday, April 6th. And finals will be 7th, the last 2 sections of 7, 8, and 11th. And this will be on Monday, May 9th. Okay, this is a finals week. So we don't have a Zoom on that Monday. We will just meet in CLA 11141 for your finals here. Okay, and again, they are not comprehensive, means that test 1 only covers this chapter, test 2 only covers this chapter, and your finals only cover those chapters. Anyone have any questions with this before I add something in your finals here? Okay. This is for, because again, I'm really nice to everyone, and please don't, I allowed one front page of notes, okay, for your test, for all your tests. So what does that mean in this case, class, is that during test time on those days, you are allowed to bring just one front page, normal size paper, not the super big size that you can buy, just a normal front page, only the front page, not both sided, only the front page. And you can type, you can write as big, as small as you want. Usually when I go over questions in the notes, I will tell you, this question is going to come up in your test. This question is going to come up in your test, but with definitely with different numbers, right? It's not going to be the same. So if you catch those little things, I say this is coming in your test, you put a little star on the notes and then make sure you transfer it into here, and any formulas, transfer it, because I really want you guys to either type or write. It's your one page of cheat sheet what you do here, right? So you know where's the formula that you link and where is the questions and stuff like that. And yes, you are allowed to have that. So yes, I am really, yeah, even finals. Yes, data. So one page. Test 1, you got one page, test 2, test. So I'm not going to provide you any formulas at all. You got this one page. You can write, you can squeeze everything you want. Okay. Everyone clear with me here? I give you a lot of what some people say, wow, wow, wow. Yes, you are correct. There's a lot of wow going on here. But don't forget that do not, oh, this is a button. Let's push this, if you over push my button, I might take that one page notes away from you guys, or I might take that 4 extension homework, make it 2 extension, you know what I mean? So please, I'm being nice here, being cordial. So make sure you guys also being cordial, and being cordial for students is do your homework, come to class. That's what I'm asking. So I give you a lot of good stuff here. If you cannot come to class, do email me. Okay, don't scared. Okay, you got work, email me. Hey David, I got stuck in the work. I'll be, if you can come, you can. I'll be late. I'm fine. If it's snowing, if it's bad weather, don't rush. No point of your car go to the ditch or something else. No point. I know it's snowing. I know some of the students will be late. Better late than never. Okay, I know what's going on. Okay, I've been in your shoe before. I'm a student before too, right? So I know what's going on. So please, just be careful, drive safely, and all these things. Okay, I understand, especially during test time. I'll watch out if those days are snowy day or some crazy days, that weather-wise. I'll watch out for you guys. Okay. And I do want to point out to you guys that please put these dates into your cell phones in the calendar to remind yourself that these are my test days. If there's a change, I will let you know way ahead of time. And yes, I will always give you guys a review a week before the test date. I will recommend you to really practice it on yourself. And after that, we'll review that on the first hour. And what is on the review is very similar on your test. Okay. So I want you to try it yourself first, so that you guys will get what's going on. Yes, I'm really nice. So all right. The next one is COVID-19. So if you test positive for COVID-19, please complete this form here, and they will send it to the admin, and then it's up to you to either tell me or not. I'm pretty cool with it. And if you tell me, it will be completely private, very private. If you come to class on the Wednesday, make sure you have your mask on. Okay, very typical, right? Very mask. I do strongly suggest you guys to get your vaccine and boosted. If you haven't got those yet, I really, really strongly suggest you get it. It's just for not just for you, it's just for everyone in classroom who is protecting everyone, including me. Okay, just tell you that. But if you have, so I really, really suggest you to get vaccinated. But if you have not vaccinated, it's fine. Then you know who you are. Just be careful because you're coming to school on every Wednesday. Okay. The rest you can read through it. If you are really sick or your family is affected by COVID-19, someone died in the family due to this, please, if you doesn't know who to talk to, just let me know. There are people in North Hennepin that can help you with these situations. You can actually exit the class and they will still fully refund the money to you. So yeah, just if you doesn't know who to talk to, just let me know and say, hey David, I'm really struggling here. It's not because of the material of this, it's because you have your family or some with this COVID-19 things, just let me know and I will show you who to talk to, and then maybe the person can help you to withdraw the class with fully 100% refund of the money. Okay, it happens before. You just need to let me know about it. Okay. I know who to tell, who you go to person. Accommodations, students who have disability, please get accommodations from the from the assessed services, because this is very important. Okay, accommodations for disability students. Please get one. Okay, so I would rather recommend you to do it. The code of conduct is usually for student for classroom. Please, no visitor, do not bring firearms to the classroom. I'm a nice guy. Do not bring a knife or a gun or whatever those things is. You know what I mean? Please. You can bring drinks. I'm okay with you bringing drinks. This one I'm okay with it. Food, you can bring food too, but make sure it's not something that is smell really good, like French fries or the whole Burger King or McDonald's that you bring in. I really tell students that if you want to bring that kind of food that smells really good, you're gonna bring it for the whole classroom, including me, and I eat 2 portions. I'm a big eater. Okay, so but you can bring like chips, and those are not really, you cannot smell, right? Chips and granola bars or something, because it's a long class, it's a night class, it's a dinner time class too. So so bring, if you want to bring some food, bring something, something that you can snack on. Okay. Drinks, I will recommend you to bring any drinks that have a cap or something else. Don't try not to get an open bottle, because if it's a spillage, you have to clean it yourself. Cell phones, the only time I want you to silence your cell phones is during test time. If you have an important call coming in, then please take a call outside the classroom, being cordial. Okay. Yes, Neda, thank goodness Ramadan is in July. I well know about, I think it's June, sorry. Is that June this year? Ramadan? I think it's June. Yes. April? Okay, thank you, Neda. Okay, thank you, April. Sorry. So in April, those students who are fasting in Ramadan, please can you tell me what day is it? Remind me again, and I will really enforce food, not to bring food in the class. I think drinks, I know you still, and especially oh my God, I forgot Ramadan. Yeah, again, for Muslim students during Ramadan time in April, if you are hungry, because it's the sun around 8, I don't know what time is it, 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. It's right in my class time. I know that now. I scratch my head because shit, this is right in the class time. Yes, I know that. I'm from a Muslim country. I'm well aware of this kind. Please, if you want, bring the food, eat and stuff, because you guys be fasting for like 10, 12 hours. I will probably put you in the corner somewhere else when you eat at the time. So hopefully you're not going to be affecting it. Yes, thank you for bringing up the Ramadan case, because it can happen, because it's a very long class time here. So please remind me again, okay, those students who are who celebrate Ramadan, and is pretty important. Yeah, because it's kind of difficult for them. I totally understand what you mean. Okay. I'll try my best to not drink, and I'm not gonna eat for sure, but drinking is I try my best not to drink during that time too. So just I'm trying my best to do it. Sometimes if I cough, I do have to drink a few waters here and there. Anyone have any questions so far? Thank you for bringing up the Ramadan case. I thought it's in June, but no, should be in earlier. Yeah. All right. Anyone have any questions for me? Okay. I do want you guys to take notes. This is very important because the notes I give to you here, make sure you guys, I do go through these notes together. Please take notes in class. Questions, ask any questions. Seems like you guys are not shy to ask any questions. Participate. For this class, I will recommend you to do around like 4 hours a week for homework, okay, or study. So for me is 4 to 5 hours a week for to do homework or study. If you're doing a test, then you probably won't need that much time to do it. So I will recommend that. So make sure you have some time for my class to do your homework, or study in this case. Okay. Math Resource Center is a good place to get help. So if you need help, come to me first. If I'm not around during office hours time, get the Math Resource Center. Watch it button for your online homework and definitely email me. So any questions, and try to procrastinate. I know the homework is due on Wednesday at midnight. I got a lot of students do it right at that time. And then I will get a lot of emails at 11 p.m. on Wednesday. And guess what? 11 p.m. on Wednesday, I'll be sleeping. So I won't be able to, maybe I will answer a little bit, maybe, but I won't be around. So make sure you guys, start working on your homework, and all your homework is really open. Everything, chapter 1 all the way to at the end. So if you want to work ahead of time, be my guest. Okay. Course schedule. So this is the course schedule that we have. So like this week, we will go over 2 sections. So these 2 sections will be due, your online homework will be due on Wednesday on week 2. Okay, and then this will be due on week 2. So you can tell that in 1 week, you can get 1 homework or 2 homeworks or 3 homeworks due. Okay, and 1 homework is gonna cost you around an hour to an hour to the 1.5 hours for 1 section. Okay, so 2 sections gonna be 2 to 3 hours long to do your homework. And one more thing I want to point out to you guys is this coming Wednesday, January 12th, the one that we're supposed to meet face to face. I cannot, we don't meet on that day. So this is very important. I will send out a note for everyone because I have something personal going on that Wednesday night. I cannot meet you guys. So the class is canceled on that day. Okay. So actually we do not meet on this coming Wednesday on campus. And guess what? Next Monday is a holiday, right? It's MLK. So the last time I will see you guys is the following Wednesday, which is 10 days, around 9-10 days from today. And that will be in class. So just make sure you put yourself a little note for yourself that I don't meet you next Wednesday. You still have class for other instructor except for me. I got something going on that day, so I cannot go away. So yes, so I won't see you on next Wednesday, and I won't see you on Monday because it's a holiday. So the next time I will see you is the following Wednesday. I think the 19th. Yes, Wednesday 19 is the one. So make sure you guys know that. The next class is Wednesday, January 19. It will be on campus. Okay, so that will be the day that I will see you. So today we'll do these 2 sections. Okay, and then anyone have any questions for me here? So the rest is pretty much, so you can tell either 1, 2, or 3 sections a week. Spring break is here. Okay, so these are the sections we're going to talk about. It's quite a lot, you can tell. That's a lot of homework you're going to do. So that's the reason why that I give you quite a bit of flexible here. So don't procrastinate, try to work things on time. Anyone have any questions so far? These are the important dates. So we don't have class next Monday, January 17th. I know we don't meet on Tuesday, but if you have any Tuesday class from North Hennepin, you need to come to school because February 1st is a student success day. You guys have no class. Also February 21, President Day is no class. Spring break 7 to 11, March 7 to March 11, April 7 to April 8 has no class. That's our duty day, Teachers Day. April 18th, we do have class on that day, but this day is the last day to withdraw. So make sure you guys, if you're not doing well in this class, this day is the date for you to withdraw from the class, so you won't affect your GPA. And then May 3rd and May 4th is also no class. One of them is a study day. So yes, you are correct, Zeki. Zik, I think it's Zik. Yes, you'll be doing your homework mostly on next week and the Monday, since there's no school. So you'll be trying to do the 2.6 and 2.7. And also, I will also recommend you, if you're still weak on the basic algebra skills, I want you to brush it up. Okay. So yep, before we meet on the 19th. Okay. Yep. So you will be doing this homework class, brushing up some of your basic algebra skills. So make sure you put this in your cell phones, that those are the dates you don't have class, so please don't come to school or don't have Zoom. This is for all North Hennepin classes here. Except for this, we have class on the Monday, April 18th, we have class. Questions for the syllabus here before we continue? Okay. Next we're going to talk about is your D2L. Okay. So please make sure you get an access to D2L. You just click on the Math 1180. Again, this is a Zoom meeting that the Zoom link is here. This is how you register to WebAssign. So if you forget or doesn't know how to do it, just go through this. And in announcement, as if my class is canceled, which is on Wednesday, I will post it over here. You will see the announcement coming up. Anything that I upload the videos to D2L, all the Zoom videos that I upload will be posted over here. So you can the link, so you can always look at it. It's going to be YouTube link here. So announcement is mostly what you will see first. And then under materials and content, this is the paperwork, the syllabus, the notes. As you know that I will give you the first copy free on not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. You get my syllabus and you will get chapter 2 and all these notes here. Okay. If you misplace or if you want additional copy, or sometimes you guys have a big handwriting, you can always get a copy here, and they always have two formats. One is a Microsoft Word and one is a PDF. So it depends on your computer. So I always give you guys one free copy first, and then the rest is going to be here. So these are all the notes that I will provide to you. So if you click on it, it will look something like this. Okay. And if you look at it, if you go for the instructor notes are the notes that is been filled. So let's say that this is 2.6. So if you didn't come to my class, I will say go to the instructor notes. We did 2.6 and 2.7 today. So I want you to go to the instructor notes and and learn it from here. So this is all this is 2.6. They are pretty I did all the work here. Again, class, all these questions that I got actually comes from your textbook or from your online homework. The only difference is I just changed the numbers a little bit. So when you guys do your online homework, if you guys are stuck, I would recommend you to refer back to these notes, okay? So the instructor notes, or to the notes that you guys copy down. So these are all the instructor notes. But this is like a year or 2 years old. I might need to look at it and see if there's any updated I need to be done. Okay. The videos is the link to the videos. So some of you might want to, if you want to get more videos, this is the some of the videos I got from Khan Academy. Some of the videos I can get from YouTube. So some of the videos from the textbook. So if you guys want to watch some of the videos, be my guest, that would be something I would recommend you to watch. if you need like extra help. Okay, yes, that'll be Khan Academy. They're all free, so you can watch the videos here. So it's up to you. It's optional to watch the videos here, so it's not, you know, they're all everything here from. Others in this case, these are the two things that you will get in my class, which is used in trigonometry. The unit circle is the one that is mostly what I will be teaching you guys when we reach chapter 6. Some of you might see this before, and yes, this is very important. So in chapter 6 is where we learn this special things. And the review for the test is right here. Again, this is from last semester, so I might again check for updates, and then I will definitely change it. This is from last semester, so these are the review tests, and again you will get a copy of it. So this is under materials and content, and the last one that we do here is under assessment and grades. So D2L has 3 important informations: the materials, the content here, the grading, which is your overall grades. It will look something like this. Okay, so I don't know why it should be on the top part. It should be show you the percent of the class. What is the overall grade percent in this class? I think I need to go and change a little bit. You got 3 tests, which is 50%. Your online homework is 20%. I set it from WebAssign that your online homework is automatically dropped for the lowest homework score. Unfortunately, it does not show as a student. It shows in the teacher version. So if you want to know which 4 homeworks that I dropped, the 4 lowest homework score that I dropped from your online homework, just email me and I will let you know. And then the finals is 20%. And then attendance is 10%. Again, this is from last semester because it's 4. So I definitely will change your dates. You know, I will keep this updated here. So this will be something that I will, you know, update. And if there is any mistakes I make, I do make mistake typing, you know, numbers down. I'm a human. I make mistakes too. Just email me and let me know. Hey, David, my test 1 out of 60, you put 5 instead of 55. I forgot to put another 5 in there. It happens before. You have to email me. So I usually tell students, hey, you know what? Your grade in D2R is updated. Please go and check it. If you see any mistakes, email me. It happens. You know, I'm a human, so it happens. Especially with attendance, you know, that is something that I will make mistake. Anyone have any questions so far with D2L? So grade book. We don't do any assignments or quizzes here. The only thing we do is grades, content, and then the announcement on the first page in D2L. Anyone have any questions for me so far? All right. The next thing is your online homework. So this is important. So the website that you go is www.webassign.net. It's net, not com, not edu, not org or something else. It's .net. And the first thing you guys need to do is to enroll. So what you do here is to end. So this is you only do it 1 time to register. And then once you finish register, you can log in over here. Okay. Enter class key. That is the first thing you need to do. So please make sure you guys do this. And this is where you put in your class key that I show it to you in my syllabus here. Again, do not copy and paste the class key. This is the class key. Do not copy and paste it over here because they won't able to read it. So you have to type NHCC period manscale. A lot of students forget the period. And then 3, 2, and there's a space in between the numbers, and then another space 7996. So please make sure you, a lot of students have this issue. Make sure you type correctly. It's not an auto spelling or auto spelling check here. So make sure you, once students type in A is a U here or forget 1 C or something else, you will get an error. Okay. So you see my name pop up, Math 118001, and you hit continue. So this is how you register to the class here. And then the next thing they want you is to sign into the Cengage account. So if you have a Cengage account through your science or your biology or your English or chemistry or whatever if you have a Cengage account, you can sign in using the Cengage account that you have. Otherwise, if you are new, you do not know, you haven't done this yet, then you just create a new account, student, and make sure the email address that you use here is the school email address, because if you use your personal email address or Yahoo or your Gmail, when I reply back to you, it might go to your spam box. So I would recommend you to use the school email address. The rest, you just go through it. It's like very easy. They ask for password, they will ask for username, they ask what school you are in, and la 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 la, so on, so on, so on. So make sure you guys either you have the account, do user account that you have, otherwise create a new account. I do recommend you guys to write that username in maybe your syllabus or somewhere else, but your password, don't write it down because it's important. So make sure you guys do this. So once you go through this process, let me show it to you. You will get into the website, the work, so I just sign in. So this is your first thing you need to do. So you get this. Because I'm a teacher, so everything is free for me because you are students. So the first thing they will have is you will have an algebra here, and you will have 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks for free to access it before you enter your code. So if you are waiting for financial aids or your money from your work or something else to get the book or to get the codes, you can still work on my homework for 2 weeks, so that I don't want you to get behind. And then once you get the money, you get the code, and then you buy the code, and then you can enter here. So I think it's under my course. I got again, this is a teacher's version. It's very different from student's version. So I would recommend you guys to this is your first homework for today. Actually, is to register to Course Compass, which is looks something like this. Okay, and if you have registered, good. Start working on your homework. 2.6 and 2.7. I'm gonna go through. I don't know why sometimes it looks so. Again, the student's version, the teacher version looks completely different. There you go. So yeah, this looks very similar to what you have in this case. There will be one part, there will be a counting down here, how many days left, like 10, 12, 9, 8. That means that's how many days left before you get the access code. Okay. This is very, very important. Okay. Does anyone have any questions with this before we really go into the homework here? Okay. If you have any questions when you register to this, or you're stuck, or you got problems, please let me know ASAP, and I will contact the tech people in Cengage, and they will help you with it. Okay, this is very important. Again, this is for your homework here. Once you get all through that, then you just log in with the username and your password that you create or you have. Should be the and then I will open a student view. So that's a teacher's view. So this is what your class, what it looks like once you click into my class. Okay. Again, all your homework is due on Wednesday. I don't know why this is due on Tuesday. There are some the reason, remember, the reason why these homeworks are due on Tuesday is because your test is on Wednesday. Yes. So for example, is because your test is on Wednesday, February 2nd. If I make the homework due on Wednesday, when it's February 2nd on the midnight, some of you who procrastinate will do the homework on that time, on a very late. By the time you will not doing well. So the reason why that so for the when you look at the schedule here, so like for these sections will be due on Tuesday. Same thing happens. This homework is due on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. The reason why is because I know some students will procrastinate and do it the very last minute. And guess what? Your task 1 does consist of these sections. And if you didn't do your homework, usually students will fail the test miserably. Okay, so that's why there are some tests is due on Tuesday, and they are missing some homework here. I'm wondering what happens to it. So I will definitely take a look at it. That's missing a few homeworks here. So again, how do you do? This is your textbook ebook. So if you need to, if you don't have a textbook, you just click on it, you go to the ebook, and so you actually don't need to buy the book. So this is the ebook that you get. So so I would recommend you guys to use the ebook here. Okay, and for your homework, you just do this homework. And once you do your homework, you just click on it and do your homework. You do not need to print your answer out or the result out. You do not need to take a picture, say, hey, this is my work. You do not need to, because I see everything on the teacher's part. So if you did even one section or one question, I will able to see what's going on. Okay, so you do not need to do anything. You just just keep on going. And if you need to ask extension for your homework, this is the request extension right here. You guys see that? Okay, so again, I will request up to 4 extensions of your homework. So so you just click on here, and then you just tell me when you want me to make this due, and then submit it, and I will read it, and then I'll reply back to you. Okay, so this is the submission, and these are your homeworks here. Some questions are easy. They are like, multiple choice question, and some questions you have to fill it in, like, this kind of questions. Now, you got 5 choice, 5 trials to do this. So if the 3rd time you still get it wrong, stop, don't continue, and then you ask question. So ask your teacher right here. So you just click on it and then say, David, question 2D or 2 whatever you have, I got it wrong. Can you please help me? I will send you the work in my work via email. Please check the work, or you can type up your work here, and then you send it to me, and I will read it, and then I will look at your work, and then I will reply back to you what's going on. So this is how you do. Again, you got 5 times. Okay, 5 times. If the 3rd time you still get it wrong, stop, email me, because once you hit the 5 times, that is nothing I can do. Okay, so 3, you still get it wrong, stop, email me. Once you hit 5, that's going to be difficult to do. So once you hit the submit answer, that's finalizing it. Okay, as I told you, there are some helps here. The worksheet is the one that I very recommend you to get, because let's say you doesn't know how to do this question, I will recommend you to click the worksheet, and because they got 4 parts. So let's say you start with C, you know how to do A, B, but doesn't know how to C, so you just watch part C, and you can tell that the questions are very similar to this. Okay, but it's a little bit different numbers. So they will teach you how to do this. Again, I muted this fellow, so you can figure out how to do. So I will recommend you to, if you are struggle, before you even ask me the question, I want you to watch it. And if you still struggle, then by the 3rd time you try, just send me an email, and I will see your work, and I will see what's going on. Okay. The read it is the ebook. So if you click the read it, the ebook will pop up. Usually it's not as useful as the watch it. I will highly, majority of them have the watch it option. So I will definitely recommend you to do so. Okay. Can you? I'm gonna pause for 2 seconds here. Give me 2 seconds. I will be. I need to. Laundry. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm doing laundry. So anyway, so what else? Anyone have any questions with your homework here? Anyone have any questions for me? Okay. Again, once you submit, if it's correct, they will mark it. Oh, by the way, there are some special key functions because your keyboard doesn't have a fraction or a square root or cube root. So when you click on it, you see a cow pad. This cow pad is if you have a square root. Now this is a square root, not a cube root. So if you go a function, this will be a cube root. And if you have log or exponents, this is a log. So these are the exponents. Fraction is over here. So these are the symbols that is not found. Infinity symbols, pi symbol is not found in your keyboard. So these are these are the stuff that they have here. So please use this instead of using the keyboard if you doesn't see the symbols that we need, like fractions and all these things. Okay, so it's very important because some students type it wrongly. This is the thing. If you type it wrongly, because instead of cube root, you put a square root in there, definitely no matter how you do your work, it's gonna be wrong. If you get frustrated because your answer is correct, but it's supposed to be a cube root instead of square root, just send me a question here. Hey, David, it is a cube root. You're late. I'm understand because you have to type the whole thing again instead of you get it wrong. And guess what? I will give you back points. Okay. So some of you who I'm totally fine. I will look at your work, but make sure you send an email to me, and I will. And if you just forget to put a comma like coordinates, right? You have to put parentheses and then a comma to separate, but you forgot to put a comma in between that. So instead of 6,8, you put 6,8 here. Forget to put a comma for your coordinate system. Definitely they will mark you wrong because you forget the comma like this. Just send me an email, and say, hey, David, I got it wrong because I forgot to put a comma. I will award you the point back. Okay, I do not want you guys to redo this question again because you got it right. It's just you forget to put a comma in there. Another thing is, let's say tomorrow is a test time. Let's say you want to practice this. So that is practice another version right here. So if you click on it, you can practice these questions unlimited time. It won't affect your grades. Okay, so you can do as much time as this is good for practice for your test especially. Okay, and they will tell you the answers and how the solutions and stuff like that. And you can try again if you get it wrong. Again, the practice another version does not affect your grades. Anyone have any questions for me so far? Yes, we'll go over this in class today. Anyone have any questions on your online homework? Questions as overall before we take a 10 minutes break here? Anyone have any questions for me? Oh, someone in the chat room. I think you mentioned about 5 times, but I didn't catch it. Yep. So that means that every time that you try this, you got up to 5 trials. Okay. So by the time when you get the 3rd time and you get it wrong, I will recommend you to stop doing it and then ask your teacher here. And that means that once you hit 5 times trial and the 5th time is wrong, there's no way I can redo it or so make sure you guys cannot do everything. So if you get the 3rd time and it's still wrong, I will recommend you to ask the instructor and I will see what's going on and I will help you with it. Hopefully by the 4th time you will get it right. Okay, so no, if you haven't hit the submit answer, it's not counted. Okay, so once, and you do not need to do all parts, so you can just do first part first, 4x minus 2 for example, and you hit submit. So it only counts for, if you do this, it only counts for this. The B, C, D, and this will still have 5 trials. Okay, so this still have, because you haven't tried yet, so you still have 5 trials. This one you try it, you get it wrong, so you only get, now you get 4 trials. Okay, and then you try it again, 3, and if you get it correct, good. So you can do it like this, so I would, yes, 5 for each box. Let's put it in this way. 5 trials for each box, and you do not need to answer all 5 at one time. You can answer one by one. And as a teacher, I can look at the previous answer that you put in, and I can tell this is the first submission, and they will only count this as 1 wrong. This will not count. Okay, so you do not need to do all 5 of them at one time. You can do individually. You guys clear with this? Okay, and again, when you get the 3 times, the 3rd trial is still wrong, email me and I will see what's going on. I don't want you guys to keep on trying it. That will be something that I will scared that you guys get it wrong. Okay, anyone have any questions for me? Okay, and yeah, I can do a lot of stuff here, but make sure you guys know, this is the extension for requests, ask your teachers. All right, we're gonna take a 10 minutes break. We'll be back around 7:35. Go, do your stuff, and I'm gonna start recording here. Pause recording, resume record. So someone asked me about the chat room what is chapter 1 and chapter, because we start from 2.6, what happens to 2.1 to 2.5. Those are actually the review sections. So if you click on the textbook, the ebook here, these are the chapters. Chapter P, chapter 1, and chapter 2. These are actually, it's kind of like a prereq in this class, or something basic. So since we don't meet on this coming Wednesday, I would highly recommend you guys to look at it and see what kind of which part that you need help. Maybe watch the video. So how do you do it is you just do expand all here. So chapter P.1, this is talking about, these are all the videos you can watch, this one, I think you'll be fine with absolute values. So I don't think so you need to, something that you think, oh, I want to figure out what's absolute value, then I would recommend you to watch it. Exponents, so if you think that you need to watch scientific notations or brush up some exponents, these are the videos you can watch for exponents and radicals. Polynomials like foiling, okay? So make sure, subtracting, adding. So these are the basic stuff. So you think you don't need to watch the whole video. So if you feel like, I think I can know what to do, just skip around, because these are factoring. This is a very, P4 is a very big section here. So if you are having difficulties with factorings, I would recommend you to watch the videos here. Rational expression is also another one. We will use doing this in chapter 4. So again, if it doesn't know what it is, just click on it and you can, look at it, and you do not need to watch the whole videos, and the whole all this. This you should know, plotting points, coordinates points, graphing, okay, linear equations in one variable. So how to solve equations like 2x plus 3 equals to 5. So if you doesn't, again, these are something that, now the modeling here is something that I do not want you to watch, because when you hear the word modeling for this class, it means word problems. So these are all word problems. So I would kind of like, I'm not gonna worry. Don't watch too much on the modeling, the word problems. This is a quadratic equation, so this is very important, especially doing completing the squares or doing quadratic formulas. So if you do not know the quadratic formulas, 1.4 is something I would recommend you to watch. Complex numbers, I. So if you do not know what is a complex number, how we add, subtract, multiply, divide, this is all basic stuff. Okay, that's why I didn't go over this. So this is what you guys do. This one you can skip. 1.6, you don't do anything. Linear inequalities. The most important thing I will ask you if you want to watch is the interval notation. This is something that maybe I'll let you guys see this one. This is very important. Yep, I'll come back with this. Then linear equations is 2 variables, y equals to mx plus b. So if you doesn't know what is y equals to mx plus b or how to graph it, again, this is 2.1. Functions, what is the meaning of functions? How do we denote functions? Okay, what's the meaning of functions here? Domain and range. So again, this is something I will also want you guys to know, the domain and range. So if you have no clue what is a domain is and what is a range of a graph, this is something you will have to watch. These are all basic stuff in this case. Transformation is the next one, how we shift and how we do shrinking and how do we do transformation. So these are all, I do not know. So let me see how long the video is. I can look at it and see. Per video is 4 minutes. Some of them is 4 minutes long. Looks like this one is 4 minutes long. I will want you to watch a few right now. Yeah. So again, you do not need to watch the whole thing. You just, something that you need help with. I will recommend you to watch. So that is something that I will really ask you to do for Wednesday and Monday, since we don't have classes on those days. The first video I really want you guys to watch here is the where was that? What was that? It's there you go. The interval notation. Where was that, friend? There you go. So this is something I really want you guys to watch now. So please pay attention. Can you guys hear it? Okay, something wrong with, I know because of something happens to the, I'm going to teach you this. So because the reason why you cannot hear it is because of the Zoom. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not you. It's the Zoom. I think the Zoom has something going on. Yeah, it's the Zoom. So I will, again, I will teach you this. Again, if you do, please go back and watch this. This is something that I will want you guys to do. Okay. So before we start chapter 2, we need to talk about domain. And we also need to talk about interval notation. This is two very important stuff before we start talking about that, before chapter 2 here. So does anyone, interval notations is used for inequality. Now, because when you have x is greater than 3, that is a lot of numbers that is x can take, right? So there's a lot of numbers that is above 3. So one way for us to do this is using graph. So for interval notations, if you have a less than or greater than symbol, we will use parentheses. Okay. If you have a less than or equals to symbol, we will use brackets. Okay. So if I want to draw, if I want you to, what is a graph of x is greater than 3? That means that at 3, it goes above. So we will use parentheses and it goes up. So this is what is the graphing piece is. But how do we write this as an interval notation? In interval notation, this is actually starts from 3 to infinity. Okay, so in the interval notation, you will only need 2 numbers. One is the minimum, that means where it starts, and what the other one is the maximum. So this starts at 3, and because that's not included, so we use parentheses, and it goes to the positive infinity. So this is the max, and we will use parentheses. Now, so this is what we call as an interval notation for this case. If you have a equal to, x is greater than or equal to 3, means that this is no longer a parenthesis. This will be a bracket. Means that 3 is included in this graph or in this solution. So that means when you write this as an interval notation, you have to use a bracket for the 3. And all infinities, no matter it's a positive or negative infinities, we always use bracket, parentheses. Okay. Another type of inequalities we have is like x is less than -2, or any numbers. So if you think about this, that means any number that is less than -2. So this time we are going to the left side of the -2, because those are the numbers that is less than -2. So in order for us to write this as an interval notation, make sure you know that this is from -infinity to -2, because we always have the minimum. So the minimum means the smallest number, which is the -infinity, and the highest in this case is -2. And because there's no equal sign, we will use parentheses. And again, if you have an equal sign, then we will use brackets. And again, infinities will be in always, no matter it's positive or negative, we always use parentheses for that. Is anyone clear with these interval notations? Okay. Now, sometimes you also get interval notation looks something like this. This is called in between. So in this case, X is in between 6 and 8. So if you want to draw what the graph looks like, that means the graph will be start from 6 and it goes till 8. So the interval notation for this case will be, because there's no equal sign, 6 till 8 parentheses. Okay, so this is the interval notation for this. And if you have an equal sign, then the parentheses will change into brackets. Depends on the number that you have. So if you have a 6 that is an equal sign, then this 6 will be in a bracket form, but the 8 is still in parentheses. But if both of these has an equal sign, means you have to put them in brackets like this. So this is the interval notation in this case. Do you guys okay with this? Okay. Again, this is very basic stuff, and you need to know this to do our work today. Okay. Next is domain. Now, what is a domain? Domain is where a function, what the x value can take. Okay. Now, because if you talk about functions, not every time you can plug an x values, it works. Okay. So certain domain, certain functions has its own domain. Okay. Now, if the domain in this case is all real numbers in this case means that your x values can be take any numbers you want. So if you think about the number line, that means it can go from negative infinity to positive infinity. That means your x values can take any numbers you want. So in order for us to write a domain that is all real numbers, your interval notation in this case will be from negative to positive infinity. Okay. Example of a domain that is all real numbers are polynomial functions. Okay. What is a polynomial functions? A polynomial functions is a functions that give us powers. Okay. Any polynomial functions. So example is like example in this case will be f of x equals to like 3x plus 2. This is a polynomial function. Okay. Or 4x squared minus 6x plus 7 minus 7. This is a polynomial function. So as long as there are powers, x9 minus 6x cubed plus 6x squared. So this is a polynomial function. So if you have a polynomial functions, it doesn't matter what power is, as long as it is in a form, no fractions. This has to be a nice whole number like 1, 2, 3. Then your domain in this case is all real numbers. Okay, automatically. And what is the meaning when I say the domain is all real numbers? Means you can plug any x numbers you want into here and you still work. Okay, so you can plug a decimal in here, you still manage to get an answer. You can even put pi or square root or whatever number you put here, you still able to get a value from it. So that's the reason why that all polynomial functions, the domain is all real numbers. Yes, this only applies to polynomials. Yep. Okay. Now, what happens if you have a square root function? Okay. Now, as you know that square root functions, you cannot have a negative. Okay. You cannot have a negative for the square root. The reason why is because this will actually become I. Okay. So for us to find the domain, of a square root function, you take the value here and you make it greater than or equal to 0. The reason why you make it greater than equals to 0 means equals to 0 means it's 0, greater means it's positive. That means your square root in this case can only be positive or 0. Okay. And so the domain for this kind of square root is going to be from 0 to infinity. And the reason why there is a bracket here is because that is a greater than equal to. So don't forget, equals, we always use a bracket. So if you have a square of x, the domain is going to be 0 to infinity. So example is what happens if I have a square root of x minus 2. So how do you figure out what is the domain for this? Is you take whatever inside this square root, we call it the radicand, and you make it greater than or equal to 0. And you solve for x. So you move the -2 over, this will become +2. So your domain in this case is actually 2 to infinity. So this is only work when this is not just square root, this is an even root. So it can be a square root, it can be a 4th root, it can be a 6th root or 8th or 10th root. Then the domain is this value has to be the one inside the root has to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is for the even root. What happens if this is an odd root? Okay, so if you have an odd root like 3 or 5, cube root, 5th root, 7th root, then your domain is gonna be all real numbers too. Okay, that means x can be any number you want. So for example is what is the cube root of 6x minus 1? The domain in this case will be all real numbers. Now this is the shortcut to write all real numbers. I accept this in your test. Unfortunately, in your online homework, they don't accept this. They only accept this form. Okay, so so in the test, you can use that capital R. That is the meaning of all real numbers. So any cube root of any odd roots like 5th root or anything, then your domain is all real numbers. So this is only happens for odd roots. Okay, your domain is always all real numbers. That means that you can plug any x you want here, you're still able to figure out the value for it. Okay, and here, what does that mean when I say domain has to be 2 to infinity? It means that you can only plug numbers that is 2 and above. You will able to get this the root in this case for even root here. So what happens if you plug any numbers that is below than 2? You will get what we call as the complex form. For example, if you plug x equals to 1, you notice that your root in this case is negative in this case. Okay, so that will not work for here. Okay, so this is for a root case. Okay, oh yes, we got a lot more coming up. The next type of domain that we talk about is rational. What is a rational function? A rational function is like a fraction. So f of x equals to like 6x plus 1 over by 2x minus 4. So this is kind of a rational, this is called a rational function. How do you figure out your domain? Now, in order for you to find the domain of a rational functions, your denominator cannot be 0. Okay, because as you know that if you take any number divided by 0, it's undefined. Now, only your denominator. I don't care about the numerator. So what is going on here for this kind of for rational functions? How do you figure out the domain in this case? Is you take your denominator and set it equal to 0 and solve it. So you take 2x minus 4 equals to 0, and then you solve for x, and you find out that x in this case is 2. So you guys know how to solve. This is easy. So what happens in this case is your domain in this case will be all real numbers except 2. except this number. So that means that you can plug whatever x you want here, a fraction, a decimal, a negative, whatever number 0. The only number you cannot plug is 2. And the reason why is because when you plug 2 in here, your denominator will end up with a 0. It will be undefined. Now, because your homework or your test, your test, I take this, your homework, yep, you only solve the denominator for the rational. Because your homework doesn't like this symbol. So how do we write this in the interval notation? So if you draw the number line, what does that mean when I say all real numbers except 2 means it is every numbers you can take. The only number you cannot take is 2. Okay, so this is the only number you cannot. Any numbers beside that, this is the meaning of all real numbers except 2. So how do you write that as an interval notation? So in order for us to write this as an interval notations, then this will have 2 parts. One part is where you take from 2 to the left. And the other part will be you take 2 to the right. So this is the meaning of all real numbers except 2 means you cannot include 2. So in order for you to write this in the interval notation, you will have to write this in 2 parts. So the one on the left is negative infinity to 2. Union, so you have to use a union symbol, and this is 2 to infinity. Okay, so the negative 2 to negative 2 is for this, and then 2 to infinity is for that. Okay, now this union sign is not a capital U. So when you type this in your online homework, you have to use the union symbol. So I showed you the union symbol. So do not use the capital U here. So the union symbol is in your CalPad here. You go under sets, you see this U symbol here. This is a union symbol that we will use. So if you use a capital U in to represent that, your online homework will mark it wrong. Okay, your online homework is very picky with all these little symbols coming up. So so this is only for rational. Only your denominator. We don't care about your numerator because 0 divided by any number is still going to be 0. Okay, so that's the reason why that we don't care about the numerator, but your denominator, if you divide by 0, is undefined. So that's the reason why that we are doing this. So these are the few domains that you need to know. Make sure you know polynomials is all real numbers. Even roots, take the radical greater than or equal to 0 and solve for it. Odd roots is also all real numbers. Rationals functions, you set your denominator equals to 0 and you solve for your x. And that will, your domain in this case is any number, all real numbers, except the number you found when you solve for x. And in order for you to write the interval notation, it's going to be from negative infinity to 2 to 2 to infinity. So these are, again, basic stuff for interval notations and domain here. And again, these are all basic materials. So I would, again, highly recommend that if you, this is all basic. If you need help, watch the videos. These are some videos that I will highly recommend to watch. Okay. Anyone have any question here? Yes, you will get this. Everything that I did here, you will get it in your in D2L and email. Okay. All right. Questions? So now we're going to start with chapter 2 here because we talk about domain quite a lot. So 2.6 is talking about combinations of functions, composite functions. So when we talk about combination functions in this case is where you add them up. So you add 2 functions together or you subtract the 2 functions together. Product means multiply. You multiply these 2 functions together, and quotients means you divide the 2 functions together. Now, when you guys do this, mostly when you add and subtract or find a difference, you will have to combine like terms. I think you guys know what's a combine like terms, right? When you find the product or when you multiply it, usually we will FOIL it. So again, if you doesn't know what is foiling is, please watch the videos. And usually when you get quotient, you will get what we call as a rational function, like the one that we just did just now, of something over something. Now, when you do a rational functions, please make sure that you have to factor before canceling them. Okay, so what I mean by that is that a lot of students, when they look at the rational functions, for example, like what we just did just now, 2x plus 4 over by x squared minus 4. This is an example here. This is what students do in my class is, oh, this 4 and 4 can cancel. Oh, this x and x can cancel. Please don't do this. This is all wrong. Okay, so you do not simplify or cancel by just canceling the numbers like this. You will be all wrong. So the correct way for us to do this kind of is to factor it. So like the 2x plus 4, you can factor out the 2. You will get x plus 2. And for x squared minus 4, the factor in this case is what we call as a perfect square factors, because these two are perfect squares. So your factor in this case is x minus 2 and x plus 2. And now once you factor this, if they are common in factor, in this case x plus 2, then you can cancel this and you will left with 2 over by x minus 2. So this is the correct way to simplify a rational functions. So a lot of students did not pay attention here and they just cancel the 4. So this is a correct way to do it. So so this is what I'm meaning by in order for you to do the quotient, you get a rational function, you have to factor them before canceling. If you don't do that, you will get a problem. Okay. Now this is for adding, subtracting, multiply, divide. We also have what we call as a composite functions. What is the meaning when I say composite of functions? A composite of functions is where the input of the output of the, let me do it that way so you can see what's going on. So when we do a composite of function, it's like substitution. Okay, so if you have a f dot g of x, what is this tell us is that you take the function g of x and you substitute that in the functions of f. Okay, which one you start looking at? You always look at the very end. So if the last one is a g, then you take the g, plug in f. Now sometimes you can be g dot of f. So this is called composite. This is called dot. That means that you will take the f functions and plug it back to the g. Okay. Now this composite function is very tricky. What does that mean in this case? That means that you will start out with the g of x function. So for this case, whatever you put an x in there, you will get an output. Okay, this output will feed it to the f of x as the input. And then you will get this will be your answer. The output of this will be your answer in this case. So this is the meaning of f dot g of x. So something like this is your mouth and this is your tummy. So what you put in your mouth, you chew, 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 and then what your mouth came out, go to your tubes, and whatever come out, you go to your tummy, and whatever tummy, that will be what you get. Okay, so this is called the f dot g of x. This one you just need to change it around. Means that you put into the f of x first, and then the output of this will be put into the g of x. So kind of like the other way around, and then the output will be your answer. Now, when you do this kind of composition functions, okay, so where we talk about we do this is called f dot g of x, is where you put the g of x into the f. You have to figure out the domain. This is a tricky part. Now, in order for us to figure out the f dot g of x, you have to find what is the domain of the f dot g. and the domain of what you initially put in, which is g of x. For example, here is when I talk about the domain of this, okay, you have to figure out what is the domain of the whole thing. That means this fellow. This is the f dot g of x. And you also need to know what is the domain of g of x. That means what you initially put in. For example, let's say that this is your mouth, this is your tummy. So your tummy can only process so much things, right? Cannot process a lot of things. I mean, there are some certain things you cannot eat, right? Let's say you are lactose intolerant. So what happened is that you put in something that is a milk product. Guess what happens? Your whole tummy will be upset. So that is not your domain. So if you are lactose intolerant, you do not want to eat milk product. So you know you will get sick. So the domain in this case will tell you because g of x cannot, the tummy cannot handle the milk product. So the f dot g of x is telling us no milk. Okay. You can still drink milk in your mouth, right? Your mouth, this mouth is your mouth. You can still take milk product, no problem. The only problem is not the mouth, it's the tongue. So that's why the f dot g of x say, oh, I have lactose, I cannot take milk. So g of x say, sure, I can have milk because mouth, they doesn't know what it is, you just milk. Now, as you know that there are something that g of x cannot take also. For example, your mouth cannot take let's say stones, right? You don't eat stone, right? So that means no. So if you cannot eat stone, your tummy is definitely not going to process stone, right? So that means whatever you put into the g of x, that is the first figure out what domain for that first. So okay, I can eat anything. If any food, right? Any food, any drinks, anything that you can put in. Anything that is non-food product, that will be not your domain. So you like stone and aluminum foil and all those things, right? You know that you will split out, right? You don't eat those things, right? That will be the domain of g of x. And then after that, depends on what the whole process is. If you are lactose intolerant, then you cannot put milk, you cannot put yogurt, you cannot eat yogurt and stuff like that. So that is kind of like what we call as a domain for this case. You have to find out what is the domain for the whole entire thing, plus the domain of the beginning, what you put in, okay, together. So that is what happens when you have a composite functions of two functions here, okay? So I will show you some examples coming out, okay? But what happens if both of these functions are all real numbers? All real numbers means you can eat whatever you want. Then the domain for the composition will be all real numbers, means you can eat whatever you want. Okay, so the good news is if both of these functions, this is one of the important, if g of x, the domain is all real numbers, f of x, the domain is all real numbers, then no matter how you dot it, f dot g or g dot f, your domain in this case is all real numbers. Means that all real numbers means you can eat whatever you want, okay, including stones and all those things. Okay, so again, this is just an example that I'm using, but in math we use numbers. So if you know these two are all real numbers, then no matter how you composite it, f dot g, g dot f, then it will be all real numbers. Now sometimes we can also do f dot f. What is f of x? Means that you have a function of f of x and you plug it back to the function of f of x. So it's kind of like what we call as cannibalism. So what is going on in this case is you only got f of x here. Whatever you put in the output, you stick it back into the same function and you will get a new output. So this is kind of like, you put in something, come up something, you put it back into the same function and again, and that will be your answer in this case. So this is called an f dot f, means you just put it in again. Mhm. And yes, you can have multiples, means you can have g dot f of x, means that you do the f of x first, and then you plug it back into the f of x, and then you plug it back into the g of x. Now, we don't do this kind of work in this class, so you do not need to worry about multiple functions composition. Mostly in this class, we only do two functions, either f dot g, g dot f, or g dot g. So g dot g is just putting g of x back into the g of x. Okay. So these are the few types in this class we'll concentrate on. Okay. Anyone have any questions on this composition for us? We definitely do some examples. Right. So let's take a look at some examples here, so you know what I'm talking about. So the first example here is asking us to do the sum, the subtraction, difference, the product, and the quotient. And then you need to find what is the domain of f over g. That means you just need to find what is the domain of this. So how do we do this in the first question here is, if you want to find the sum of this, the sum of this is just adding two of this function. So you just take the 2x minus 5 and you add it with the 2 minus x. And again, when you do addition and subtraction, you combine like terms. So what is the combined like terms here is 2x take away x is x. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So this is the f dot g of x. Questions? Now, the second B is asking us to difference. Now, this is where you take the f of x, which is 2x minus 5, and you subtract 2 minus x, the g of x. So you take the f and g, subtract. Now, again, you combine like terms here, like what we did here. So 2x minus x is x. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. Right? So you combine like terms, and this is your answer. Now, if you type this answer in your homework, this is wrong. So can someone here tell me why the addition, you combine, is right, but the subtraction is wrong? This is important. And a lot of students will do this in my homework. Anyone know why this is wrong? Okay, good. No one knows, which is fine. I expect that. So do not do this in your homework. The reason why this is wrong is because when you subtract the g of x, the whole g of x is actually affected by the negative. So that means that this negative has to be distributed to it. So this is wrong because it's supposed to be 2x minus 5 minus 2 plus x. So this negative is affecting the whole g of x. So that's why this x is no longer negative, it's a plus, because two negative can plus. So this is actually 3x minus 7. This is correct. Questions? Very important. A lot of students make that mistake. Next is f times g. So f times g means you take the function of f. Now don't forget, this f times g is different from f dot g. So I've got students think that this f dot g is the same thing as the multiple, the product fgx. They are two different things. This is potato, this is tomato. Okay, there are two different things. Do not mix that up. So what happens to f times g is you take the f of x, which is 2x minus 5, and you multiply this with the g of x, which is 2 minus x. Okay, so in order for you to do this, no, the dot is only explained here, not in the chapter 1 correct. We haven't done the dot yet so far. This is just the first 4 of this. Okay, so when you multiply this, you have to FOIL. So I want you guys to go ahead and FOIL this out. This is only time when you guys do this work is when you multiply or find the product of this, you have to FOIL. So go ahead and FOIL this out. I think you guys know how to FOIL, right? Go ahead and FOIL it out. Don't look at me, I'm not doing the work. If you does not know how to FOIL, that's you have to go back and look at the pre-req. Anyone FOILing? What do you mean by I think so? Or you just tell me, or you can type it out in the chat. Doesn't matter how you do it. Sick. And while you guys do this, I'll take your attendance. And again, class, if you have no idea how to FOIL, how to do this, I would highly strongly recommend you to. Bosa is here. Let's see if Neda is here. Abdullahi, is Abdullahi here? Abdullahi is not here. Hunter is here. Zek is here. Is Sean here? Let me see. Sean is here. I saw you. Is BK here? BK? Anyone called BK? No BK. Fong is here. Liz is here. Sabrina is here. And the new students, Ariel is here. Okay. FOILing, anyone?
I have a guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it negative 2x squared plus 9x minus 10?
Wait. Negative 2x squared.
Oh, sorry.
Plus what?
9x minus 10.
Yep. So 9x. Yes. Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry. That is correct. Negative 2x squared plus 9x minus 10. So this is your answer here. And again, class, if you do not know how to FOIL, please go. That is danger. If you do not know how to FOIL in this class, that means you're not in the right class. You have to go back to take the math to separate the college, just the college algebra class. Because as I told you, this class goes really fast. So no FOIL. If you doesn't know how to FOIL, and if you don't want to brush up your skills here, you will end up dropping this class. Okay. This is considered simple stuff. Last is division, so a quotient. So in order for us quotient, you just take your f of x divided by g of x. So f of x is 2x minus 5. So you put it on top. And g of x is 2 minus x. So this is 2 minus x. Now, again, can we cancel the 2 and the x? Can we do this? Okay, that's good. You cannot do this because in order for you to do this, you require to factor them. So unfortunately, none of this is factorable. So this is your answer. Okay. Now, this question also asking you, what is this domain? Because the question is asking, what is the domain of f over gx? So can someone tell me how you figure out the domain for this? We did this just right after the break that we took. Solve the denominator, make it equal to 0. So can someone tell me what is x in this case is? 2, yep, that's correct data. So how do you write your domain in this case? Don't give me x equals to 2 because you will get wrong. Okay, that is not your answer. So what is your answer here?
Negative infinity or parentheses, negative infinity, and then 2, and then another parentheses union, and then another parentheses 2, and then infinity, and then
Yep.
parentheses.
Thank you. That is correct. Is that Liz? Yep. Now, Sabrina is also good. All real numbers, x cannot be 2. But if you, Sabrina, that's also correct. You can type that. You can do that in your test. But your online homework doesn't like that. So your online homework will like this. This is called interval notation. Okay. So make sure you guys know that. Your online homework very picky. They only take this. What Sabrina write, I accept in your test. Okay. All real numbers, accept. X cannot be 2. I take that. Okay. Anyone have any questions with the first example? All right, now we're going to go on to the second example here. So kind of the same thing. They ask you for the f plus, minus, and so on. Get rid of all those. So how do we do this? This is a little bit tough now. So how do you find what is f plus g of x in this case? Again, you just add this up. So it's going to be the square root of x squared minus 4 plus the g of x in this case is x squared over by x squared plus 1. Now, the only thing I want to point out here, class, is you cannot combine like terms here because none of these are like terms. This is the square root. This is rational functions. Again, potato, tomato. Cannot combine it. So your answer in this case is this whole thing. Okay. How do we do the f minus g of x? So again, it's as similar as this. Is the square root of x squared minus 4, but instead of addition, this is going to be a subtraction. And again, class, you cannot do anything with this. It's because these are not like terms. So you just leave it like that. So if you got a weird stuff like this, where they are not just a polynomial functions, one is a root, one is a rational, then you cannot do anything with it. Just leave it as that. Same thing happens when you do the product. So when you do the product means you take these two and multiply. And when you multiply, as you guys remember, we multiply fractions straight across. So you will get x squared times square root of x squared minus 4 over by x squared plus 1. So what I did here is I make this over 1 and I multiply this straight across. And when I multiply these two, it's become x squared times root of x squared minus 4. And when I multiply this, this will become x squared plus 1 in this case. So again, there is nothing we can do on this. And a lot of students do this in your homework or in your test is, oh, this one is x minus 2 because x square root will give us x and 4 is a perfect square of 2. So I will get x minus 2. So when you have square root of x squared minus 4, this is x minus 2. This is wrong. Okay, how do you know this is wrong? You just simply plug numbers in there. Plug x equals to 3, what do you get? Plug 3 here, you get 1, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. Plug 3 here, what do you get? 3 squared minus 4. What is 3 squared minus 4? That will be 5. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. The square root of 5 is the same as 1. No, they are not the same. So please, this is x squared minus 4 is not x minus 2. Okay, so don't simply say, oh, this is perfect square. What makes it that way is because of the addition and subtraction in the middle. So that's the reason why that when you see addition and subtraction in the middle, usually you cannot break it down like this. Okay, you cannot separate that two. Okay. The D part is you divide. So when you do f divide by gx, now divide in this case means that you take the f of x, which is the square root of x squared minus 4, and you divide, okay, with the g of x, which is x squared over by x squared plus 1. Now, does anyone remember how we divide fractions?
You multiply by the reciprocal.
So this will change into multiply, and what happens to this fellow?
You flip it around.
You flip it. So the x squared plus 1 will be where? On top?
Yeah.
Right? And the x squared will be in the bottom. Okay? Keep change flip. Well, very good. Yeah, that's correct. You learned it. Yep, that's correct. Keep this one, change this one, flip that one. That's correct. You know. So now, how do we multiply this? Again, we multiply this straight across. So this will become x squared plus 1 times with the square root of x squared minus 4 all over by x squared. So this is your f over g of x, the quotient. Okay, so yes, you keep this, you change this, and you flip that. You're right there. Huh? You remember that? That's good. So the downfall about this is this question still wants you to find what is the domain of. Remember, question still asking what is the domain of f over g, right? So you don't need to find the domain of these 3. You need to find the domain of this for the last one. So can someone tell me what happens when you have a rational functions here? What can you do here? Like what we did on question 1.
Equal it, put it equal to 0.
And solve for x, right?
Yes.
So you take the square root because you got x squared. So what is x in this case? 0, right? Okay. So this tells us that I'm going to do a number line. The number that you cannot take in this case is what number? 0. Okay, so all, yep, cannot take 0. Any number works. However, there is also another domain restriction or domain in this case. It's not your denominator, it's your numerator. But then you say, David, wait a second. Early on, you teach us numerator doesn't care, right? You only care about your denominator. It cannot be equal to 0, right? But why the numerator here you need to watch out? It's because of him. Okay. If you still remember this fellow, this is a square root, right? Can you tell me what happens when you have a square root? What number here has to be? It can only be 0 or positive, right? It cannot be negative. So now we need to figure out what number when you plug into your x will give us positive numbers or 0. So can someone tell me when x equals to 0, what do you get? A positive number or a negative number? You will get a 0 squared. What's 0 squared minus 4?
-4.
So you know this is no real, -4. So you get a root of -4. So that means that this is no good. So 0 is no good. I want to double check. So that means 0 is no good here, 0 is no good there. Now let's do 1. Plug in 1 in here. So 1, this is 1. So what is 1 squared minus 4? That gives us what?
This is -3.
-3. Does that square root again also is not real? So guess what? 1 is not working. Now let's plug 2. What do you get when you plug 2 inside? Oh, you get 0. Does anyone know what is the square of 0?
0.
0. That means 2 actually what? Work. Okay. Now, what about 3? That is 9 minus 4, which is 5, square of 5. As long as it's a positive, it works. So 3 also works. Now you can tell that 4, 5, 6, 7. What do you think? If you put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and square it and minus 4, does that work? You find out those will work because you will get what? Positive number. Now, we did so far here. Now we're going to do the negative. Now we're going to try -1. So plug -1 here, square it. Do you guys know what's the square of a -1?
The 1.
Just 1. Take away 4, you get what? -3, right? So that root does not work. Why it does not work? Because it's a negative number. Now let's try -2. So plug it in here again. What do you get when you plug -2 square minus 4? -2 square is what?
4.
Minus 4.
0.
So does that work in this case? It works because 0, yeah, 0 works. Yeah, don't forget 0 or positive will work. Square of 0 is still 0. Okay. Now what happens when you plug -3? What happens when you square this and minus -3 square is still 9, right? Because when you square negative, it's always positive. So this is going to be √5. This is also work. So what happened is that you notice that all these numbers here, the -4, -5, they all work. So can you tell me what is the domain for this picture that you draw? What numbers work? So this keep on going to where?
-infinity
And where does it go till?
to -1.
Oh, -1 does not work.
Oh, -2.
-2. So you will put a bracket here. And this is no good, no good, no good. And where does it work back?
+2.
To where?
Positive infinity.
Yep. So what is the domain in this case? -infinity to -2 union 2 to infinity. So this is your answer. Okay. Now there is a shortcut to do this. The shortcut, this is a long way to show. This is the way that you learn it. Now I show you the shortcut. The shortcut to do this is these two numbers come from the 4. So if you take the square root of 4, you get a +2 and -2. So this is your domain for this case. So if I change this question to become x² minus 2 times the square root of x² minus 9, or let's say I change it to become something like this. So can you tell me what is the domain for this function. Remember the domain for this is this one. So what is the anyone know what's the domain for him?
It'll be basically the same except changing the -2 and +2 for -3 and +3.
Yes. So this is exactly the same as this. You just need to change the 2 become 3. Yep. Liz, you're correct. Is that Liz, right? I think that's you. So that is the fastest way to do it without doing all this work. So this is a shortcut. I will show it to you. Questions? Now, this is not composition yet. This is just what? Adding and subtracting. Okay, we'll do a composition next.
When you made why'd you put the brackets around the ends of or like the 3 and then
The reason
2s?
why you put a bracket here is because this number 2 exact will work. So bracket means you include it. You include
Oh, okay. Thank you.
those numbers. So 2 and -2 works, so we include it. But anything after in between that, not working. Yep. All right. Now we do composition functions. So again, I'm skipping around here. Again of time, we do question 6. So 6 in this case, they want you to find what is f.g, g.f, g.g, and the domain of each function. Okay, and the composition. So question 6 is asking for f of x, which is 3x plus 5 given to us. And g of x in this case is given us by 5 minus x. So you need to figure out what is f dot g of x. So again, how do we know which one to do first on this f dot g of x is you look at which one comes the end. Now you notice that the g of x comes very end. So this is actually you take the g of x and you plug it back into the f of x. So what going on is this is a g of x and you plug this into the f. So like substitution, okay? So that is the meaning of the composition, the dot, f dot g. So you plug the g into it. So in this case, your x will be replaced by your g. So instead of 3x plus 5, this x will be replaced by 5 minus x, the g of x. Kind of like a substitution, okay? Do not leave your answer like this. Make sure you simplify this. So do you guys know how to simplify this, distribute this, and do the work? What do you get? This is 15 minus 3x plus 5. And again, combine like terms, what you get? Negative 3x plus 20. So this is your f dot g of x, means you substitute, yep, or 20 minus 3x is what Neda say. Yep, it's okay. You can put 20 minus 3x. Okay, I don't think so they will mark you wrong. Okay, so this is the meaning of f dot g of x. What is the meaning when I say g dot f of x? So now is the opposite. You take the f of x and you plug it back, you substitute back to the g of x. So what do I do here is I don't do this. This is the f dot g of x. So what do I do is I will take the f of x and where do I plug it in? To the g of x, this x. So what do I get here when I plug this in? I get 5 minus, now this x will be replaced by him, 3x plus 5. And again, you combine like terms, you will get negative 3x 5 plus 5 is what? Plus 10, right? Now this answer is wrong. Well, why just plug this? David told me, well, you just take this whole thing, plug in my x like what we did here, the other way around. But why this is wrong? Anyone?
Because you
You
have
didn't-
to.
you
Now
can go.
you guys saw it. Very good. The first time you didn't catch it, this time you catch it. Good. So those who didn't catch it, pay attention, because when you plug this inside, this negative is affecting what? The whole 3x plus 5, not just the 3x. So that's the reason why that this is all wrong. Okay. So that again, very good. You didn't fall the trap twice here. So it will be 5 minus 3x minus 5. So again, the 5 and negative 5 will cancel, so you will get negative 3x. Yep. And lastly, for part C, we will do the g dot g of x. Now, what is the meaning when I say g dot g of x? It means that you take the g of x and you plug it back into g of x. You're fine, don't forget. Don't worry about that. But don't do that in your online homework too. If you forget to put in the negative for the 3x here, you forget negative, they will mark you wrong. Okay, just be careful. So what is g dot g of x is I take this g of x and I plug it back into the g of x. So this is g dot g of x. So in this case, you will get 5 minus x, and this x will be also 5 minus x. Okay, so you find out that when you plug this back in there, you will the x in this case will be replaced by the same thing, 5 minus x. And again, you need the parentheses because the negative here. Plus is good, negative, you need parentheses. So distribute this, what you get? 5 minus 5 plus x, so you get x. Yep, this is your answer. Now, the only thing you need to watch out here is because this question wants us to find the domain of it. So now you get all this answer for the composition. So you need to find what is the domain. So since the f of x is 3x plus 5, can you know what is the domain of this case?
Is it all real numbers?
Yes, the domain for this is all real number because this is a polynomial functions. So again, in your online homework, all real numbers means negative to positive infinity. And what is the domain of g of x? Also what?
It's also real numbers.
All real number, because this is also a polynomial function. So what happens when you have two all real numbers and you dot them? So what is the domain for every single one of this?
All real numbers.
The domain in this case is going to be all real numbers. Okay, so automatically, if these two are all real numbers, the dot of all this will be also what? All real numbers. Questions? Now, because we don't meet on Wednesday, so I'm going to go till 10 more minutes till 9 o'clock. Okay, and then because we need to finish this part. Number 7, you got absolute value. Does anyone know what is an absolute value means?
It's when like all the numbers that's in the lines, like the answer would equal positive at all times.
So when you plug x in here, the absolute value will always be positive the whole time. Now, do you guys know what is the graph of an absolute value? The graph. Okay. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you. The graph of absolute value is a V-shaped graph. Okay. That's the reason why that it is always positive, because it's always above the line. So that's why absolute value graph is always V-shaped. Okay. So we do the same thing, f dot g, g dot f, and g dot g. So f dot g means you take the g and you plug it back into the f. So can someone tell me what you get? That need absolute value is needed here. So you get what? 3 minus x, and then you still have a minus 4 back there. Okay, so the x will be replaced by 3 minus x. Still have an absolute value. So what you get here when you take combine like terms, you will get negative x minus 1. Okay, in the absolute, make sure you put that the absolute value. Okay, so this is f dot g. How about g dot f of x? So this means you take the f and we put it into your g. So can someone tell me what you get when you take this, plug it into x of g?
Is it 3 minus parentheses?
Not
Absolute.
parentheses.
Oh, I mean the absolute value.
Value.
X minus 4 absolute value.
Yep. Now, can you combine the 3 and the 4 here? Can you combine that? The answer is no. Okay. So this will be your answer here for the g dot f, means that do not combine this because this is not parentheses. This is absolute value, 2 different things. Okay. So please do not combine that. And then lastly is g dot g of x. Means you take the g of x and what you do is you plug it back into the g of x. So this will be 3 minus with what? 3 minus x. So you plug this back into here and you need a special parenthesis here. And the reason why is because the subtraction here will affect both of us. So what you do when you simplify this, you get what?
Three minus 3 plus x.
And what is 3 minus 3 plus x?
X.
It's just x. Yeah. Okay, this is the answer for this. Now we need to talk about the domain. So what is the domain of the f and g function? So if you look at the absolute value, what can we put in the x here? Can you put any numbers you want?
No,
What number you cannot put in here?
a negative.
Oh, you can put negative. What happens when you put -1 in here?
Oh, I mean, you can't put something that would equal something that's negative when you solve the thing.
But I'm talking about x here. I'm not talking about the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, you can't put, is it negative 3 or 4?
Can you put -3 on your x here? Where's -3 minus 4 absolute value? Can you?
It's always positive.
It's always positive. So what is the domain for an absolute value?
Is it
All real numbers?
Yes, it's all real numbers. So another thing that you need to know is every time when you see an absolute value, your domain is all real numbers. So I want to point out to you guys what you learned so far. Mostly of them are all real numbers, except for that case with the fraction one, the rational, the square root. Those are the ones that you need to watch out for. Okay. Anyone know what is the domain for 3 minus x is?
Is that all real numbers?
Also all real numbers, yes. So what happens when you dot f dot g, g dot f, g dot g, all these composition function? What is the domain in this case? It's going to be what? Also all real numbers. Okay. So so this is how we do question number 7. Okay. We're gonna do a couple more and then we'll. Now the next one we're gonna talk about is if I provide you 2. Now last time I give you these 2 functions, you give me the f dot g, right? Now I give you the opposite, means that if I give you f dot g is this, can you tell me what is f of x and g of x? So the opposite way. Okay, always math, always do that. It's not, you're not learning this on one way, you always also learn the other way, means that you have to know both ways. So in this case, in question 10, they say that f dot g of x in this case is 2x plus 1 squared. Okay, so this h of x is actually f dot g of x is gonna be 2x plus 1 squared. So you need to tell me what is f of x is and what is g of x is. Okay, now this is actually looks tough, but actually it is simple. And if you are going to calculus 1, this is important. Okay. Now, first you need to tell me which function do we do first, the f function or the g function if you look at this composition function. The f first or the g first?
Would it be G?
How do you know it's g in this case?
Because when you do the composite ones, you start with the last.
Very good. Yes, in order for us to figure out which one comes first, you look at the last. So since g comes last, so we're going to do the g of x. Now, what is going on here is that this g of x will be taken the one inside the parentheses. So this g of x will be 2x plus 1. And what happened is that if your g of x is 2x plus 1, this 2x plus 1 will be replacing by x. So your f of x in this case is just x squared. Okay, so let me tell you what happens here. So so every time when you look at this kind of questions, the composition functions, you'll find which one comes first. The g comes first because it comes last on this composition function. And the one that inside the parentheses, the one that is kind of weird one or what, that is always the g of x, the one that comes first. Okay, and this will be replaced by x. And then the leftover, which is x squared in this case, will be g of x. And how do you know if this is correct? You just figure out, you just do f dot g here. So f dot g means you take this g, plug it over here, right? Do you get back this result? The answer is yes. When you plug this back in there, you will get what? 2x plus 1 square, right? Which is the same as what we have. You guys want to try number 11? Again, you need to know the g of x first. So this is the 4 over by square root of 5x plus 2. Which one is the icky one?
Is that the square root of 5x plus 2?
So this will be your g of x. And then what happened is this will be replaced by what? It will be replaced by x. So what is your f of x in this case? Yep, it will be 4 over x. And again, if you want to figure out if this is correct, you just do the f dot g. So if you take this, plug into here, do you get this whole functions here? You get. So this is your answer in this case. T? I don't have t. What is t? I don't see any t here. Ariel? Ariel, can you tell me what is t? I don't see t in this case.
My apologies. It's just a typo. I was just wondering,
How come g of x is square root of 5x plus 2 again?
Because that is the one inside the square root here.
Got it. Okay, thank
So
you.
see that? So this is always they give us an icky one,
Uh-huh.
and the icky one or the one inside here is always the g of x.
Got it. Thank you.
And then you replace that icky one with an x,
Uh-huh.
and that will be your f of x.
Got it. Thank
So
you.
yep. And don't forget, this is used a lot in your calculus 1.
Okay.
It looks tough, but you just need to look at it and Right. I'm going to do the last question here, which is a word problem. The reason why I'm doing this is because you see this in your homework here, which is question 13. Okay. The number of capital N of bacteria in the fridge is given us by N capital T is 10T squared minus 20T plus 600, where 2 is less than or equals to T is less than or equals to 20, where this capital T in this case is a temperature. So this is how your bacteria grow in your food if you put it in a refrigerator. If your temperature is between 2 to 20, this is the functions you get. Okay. And next, you also, when you remove the food from the refrigerator, you get this TT. Now, don't forget, they are very tricky here because one is a capital T and one is a small t, and it's given us by 3t plus 2, where this t is between 0 and 6. And this t in this case is in hours. Okay. Now, so what happened is that when you take out the food from the fridge, your temperature will get hot, right? Because your food is, you take it out from the fridge, so it's hot. And then you know that when your food get hot, your bacteria will grow a lot faster. Okay, so question A is asking us to find what is N dot TT is. And then after that, what is the meaning of it in the context? So what is N dot TT is you take the T, because that is the last one, and you plug it into the end of it. So that means you have to plug it not just one time, you also have to substitute it 2 times because the NT has 2 capital T's in there. So in this case, you have to take 10 times 3t plus 2 squared minus 20 3t plus 2 plus 600. So this is we plot the 3t plus 2 over there. Now, this is another one that students tends to make mistake here, is doing this. So can someone tell me what is 3t plus 2 squared?
It basically means that it's 3t plus 2 times 3t plus 2.
Yes. So a lot of students think this is 3t times 3t is 9t. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Is this correct?
No.
That is correct. Fossil,
No.
you are correct. That is incorrect. So do not do this in my test, because if you do this, everything after that is all wrong. Okay. So this is actually, so this is wrong. So this is as what is that Ariel or Liz say that this is 3t plus 2 times 3t plus 2. So you actually need to FOIL this fellow out. So what you get when you FOIL him out? You get 90 squared. What else you get?
12t plus 12t plus 4.
12t plus 4, right? Okay, so this is the correct answer for him, not this one. Now, do not forget that this question has a 10 in front. So what happens when you have a 10 in front is you just need to multiply this whole thing by what? By 10. So what you get here will be 90t squared plus 120t plus 40. Okay, you have to distribute your 10. And then this is just for what? This term. And we still have more at the back. So you have to distribute this negative 20 to it. So you will get negative 60t minus 40 and then plus 600. Then you have to combine like terms. This is a lot of work here. That's why the word problem is a bit tough. So you get 90t squared. 120t minus 60t, you will get a positive 60t. Now the 40 and the minus 40, they will cancel out because, so you get 600. So this is what is n dot tt equation is. So the question is asking is, what is this n dot tt means? So what does this mean? What does this mean? So does anyone know what is n stands for, the capital N? That is the number of bacteria. And what is this T, small little t means? Is that temperature or time?
Is it time?
Yes. So what is this means? This equation that you get here is the number of bacteria based on what? On the temperature or based on the time?
Based on the time.
Based on the time. Yep. So because all this little t is time, so this n dot tt means it's a number of bacteria based on time. Question B is asking us to find what is the bacteria count after 0.5 hours. So 0.5 hours is temperature or time?
Time.
Time. That means that you just need to replace your time as 0.5. So you just need to take this new equation that you found and replace your small t to become 0.5. Now, this is where a lot of you get wrong in your homework. So please take out your calculator or your cell phone calculator and start punching this out. And that is your answer if you punch it correct. Anyone? Anyone?
That's 652.5.
Yep, that is correct. Now, if you didn't get 652.5, please check your calculator again. Squaring parentheses, they are all these parentheses I put here is very important. Yep. So again, calculator is important. So get one. And the last one is telling us find the time when the bacteria count reach 1500. So this 1500 is your what? The temperature, the time, or the bacteria?
It's the number of bacteria.
So the number of bacteria. So we will still use back the same function here. But now this 1500 is no longer T, is the n dot tt. So that means it's 1500 number of bacteria equals to 90T squared plus 60T plus 600. So you need to find the time, the T. Okay. Now, in order for us to do this, this is what we call as a quadratic form. You have to make this equals to 0. So I have to subtract this by 1500. So this will become 0. Okay. So what we have in this case is 90T squared plus 60T minus
900.
900. Yep. Now, this is a big number, so don't put it in your 4 quadratic formulas. We can reduce this. This can be reduced. Yep, you're fine, Sabrina. If you guys need to hop off this class, it's fine, because this is the last question here. So if you can stay, you can stay. If you need to go, you're fine. Just watch the last 5-10 minutes. So you just need to reduce this. This one can be reduced by 10 because they all have a 0 in front. So the numbers getting small, and moreover, this one can be reduced also by 3.
3.
Yeah, very good. So I recommend you to reduce this quadratic because your equations will get smaller. And if you have a smaller equation, it's easy for us to plug it into the formula, the quadratic formula. Okay, so you got 3T squared plus 2T minus 30. So does anyone remember what is the quadratic formula? Anyone?
I have like the formula. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
It's x equals negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a.
Now, when you do divided, make sure that it's all over 2a, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, that is correct. And don't forget, it's a plus minus, not just plus. You're good. That's correct. This is super important. And I will recommend you to put this in that piece of paper for your test. Remember, you're allowed to use that in the test. So, this is your A. This is your B. And what is your C in this case? Negative 30. So we plug all this into your quadratic formula. So instead of X, we use T. So in this case, T, because your variable here is not X, is T. Negative B, so this is your B, so it's negative 2. Plus minus square root of B squared, which is 4. 2 times 2 is 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 times A, which is 3. Times C, negative 30. All over by 2A, so 2 times 3, which is 6. Now take out your calculator and do what is in this square root. So do square root of 4 minus 4. Don't use parentheses, use the multiply symbol. Multiply 3, multiply by negative 30. Anyone? It's all decimals. Square root of 4 minus 4 times 3 times negative 30. Anyone? It's almost done here. Again, class, this is something that you need to practice. Very important. 19.0787 . You guys all right? Now, the thing is that this is talking about time, right? Can time be negative?
No.
Okay, so you know that time cannot be negative. So that means that this minus sign will not be used. The reason why we don't use the minus sign here is because the minus sign will make this whole thing negative. So it's not, you can tell that time, I hope, is negative, then I'll be forever young. So now I want you guys to take your calculator and figure this out. And whatever you get, that is your answer. This one, the part C is the most work here. I think the most thing that you messed up, Nat, is the negative. So make sure you know the difference between a negative sign and a minus sign in your calculator. Yep, 2.85 actually, 2.85. If you round it to 2 decimal place, okay, 2.8464 something. Now, Zig, this is what happens in your online homework. If you put 2.84 in your online homework, they will probably mark you wrong. The reason why is because you cannot round these numbers. So you actually have to use 19.07878, a little bit more decimals here. So because that answer is not your final answer. So if that answer is not your final answer, you are not allowed to round it till the very end. Okay. So in your online homework, if you put 2.84, which will be wrong, they will mark you wrong if it's round to 2 decimal place. Check your decimal representation on this one, the 19 point something. So make sure you put a bit more decimals here, and then you will get the 2.85 in this case. Okay. However, if you kind of like, and then when you find out the answer is 2.85 and you got 2.84, don't get frustrated. Send me an email and I will give you back the point, because for me, 2.84 and 2.85 is potato and potato. They're all the same, because your online home is so picky. This 0.01 difference, they will mark you wrong. Okay, so if you find out that in your homework that you are just like a 0.01 or 0.02 off from what your answer is, send me an email and just type in my rounding is just a 0.01 off. I will give you back the point. So do not, like, but if you are really round out, it's not as close as this 2.85, then no, I won't give you back the points. Okay, so your answer in this case is 2.85. Okay. So this is the end for today's class. So your online homework that is due is actually for this coming Wednesday. It's gonna be just 2.6. So you got a little bit, you got 10 days to do this. So I want you guys to only one, not two. We didn't do 2.7 yet. So the homework that is due on not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday is a 2.6. Make sure you guys work on it. Just only one section. I will change it in the WebAssign. And class, do not forget to brush up your basic stuff like the quadratic formulas and like foiling. Those are the basic stuff that if you're kind of doesn't know how to do this basic math work here, brush up chapter P and chapter 1. Okay, that is something I will want. So homework for next Wednesday is 2.6. Just 2.6, not 2.7, because we haven't done 2.7 yet. So when you come back on the 19th, because we don't meet, don't forget, we don't meet on Wednesday, which is the 12th, and Monday is a holiday. So the next time I meet you is the 19th. it will be on campus. We will talk about this 2.7, and this homework I will ask around if you have any questions. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing here. Anyone have any questions for me before